Tomorrowland has always been Disneyland's tribute to the future, a place where Walt Disney invited guests to imagine the world of tomorrow. But keeping up with the future isn't easy, and by the 1990s, Tomorrowland was starting to look a bit dated. Attractions that once seemed futuristic were now reminders of the past, and Disney needed something fresh to draw guests back to this part of the park. So in 1998, they introduced New Tomorrowland, a major renovation meant to revitalize this iconic land. At the heart of this revamp was the Rocket Rods, a high-speed thrill ride that would replace the much-loved but slower-paced People Mover. Disney fans had mixed feelings. The People Mover had a loyal following, but Rocket Rods promised to bring a cutting-edge, high-tech feel to Tomorrowland, fitting the vision of a bustling, futuristic transportation hub. It was designed to be one of the land's centerpieces, embodying the excitement of fast travel and innovation. Before we dive into the ride's journey and its surprising fate, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our future deep dives into Disney history. Now, let's take a look at what made Rocket Rods so ambitious. Rocket Rods was Disney's answer to the need for speed in Tomorrowland. Designed to be a thrilling, futuristic replacement for the People Mover, the idea was simple but ambitious. Take the slow-moving track that wound above Tomorrowland and transform it into a high-speed experience that would capture the excitement of futuristic travel. The ride vehicles were modeled as sleek, hot rod-inspired cars, reflecting a vision of streamlined, high-speed travel. Guests would board these rocket rods and speed through Tomorrowland, getting elevated views of the area in a unique, exhilarating way. Disney's Imagineers envisioned Rocket Rods as more than just a ride. It was supposed to be a bold reimagining of Tomorrowland's transportation system. The ride vehicles used a linear induction motor, allowing for rapid acceleration that gave guests a burst of speed right out of the gate. Rocket Rods would accelerate quickly on the straightaways, giving guests the sensation of rocketing across the track, then slowing down for the corners. This rapid acceleration and deceleration made the ride unique, especially for fans who had grown up with slower-paced attractions. Unfortunately, the thrill of high-speed turns presented major design challenges. Originally, the track's turns were designed for the slow, steady pace of the People Mover, not the fast speeds planned for Rocket Rods. Budget cuts during development prevented Disney from redesigning these turns with proper banking, which would have allowed smoother high-speed navigation. Instead, the vehicles had to slow down dramatically at each corner, causing frequent jerky movements and reducing the overall thrill factor. The compromises in design and budget raised concerns, but the concept was so exciting that Disney pushed forward, aiming to open a Tomorrowland centerpiece that would capture the imaginations of a new generation of fans. Little did they know these early design choices would later contribute to the ride's downfall. Rocket Rods was groundbreaking, but from the start, it faced a host of technical challenges that compromised the ride's performance. One of the biggest issues stemmed from the decision to use the existing People Mover track without modifying it for high speeds. Since the original track was built for a slower continuous ride, it wasn't designed to handle the sudden acceleration and deceleration that Rocket Rods demanded. As mentioned, ideally Disney would have banked the turns to allow the ride vehicles to maintain speed, but budget cuts prevented any major alterations to the track. Without any modifications, the ride vehicles had to slow down drastically around each corner, creating an experience that was far from smooth. Instead of a fluid, thrilling ride, Rocket Rods was a series of rapid bursts of speed followed by abrupt deceleration at each turn. This back-and-forth motion put immense strain on the ride vehicles and the track, leading to constant wear and tear. The linear induction motors, meant to give the Rocket Rods its famous burst of speed, couldn't sustain the frequent stops and starts. The motors often overheated, and the tires wore out quickly under the stress, requiring frequent maintenance. Rocket Rods also faced challenges with its queue system. The attraction was incredibly popular at launch, with wait times often stretching over an hour. However, the frequent breakdowns meant that ride capacity was always unpredictable. Guests would wait in line for hours, only to experience delays, breakdowns, or even outright ride closures. This led to growing frustration among parkgoers and eroded the excitement that had initially surrounded the attraction. The constant mechanical issues and delays foreshadowed a difficult future for Rocket Rods. As Disney struggled to keep up with maintenance and ensure reliable operation, these challenges would eventually impact the ride's popularity and longevity. Rocket Rods officially opened in May 1998 as the flagship attraction of New Tomorrowland. From the moment it debuted, the ride generated buzz, drawing huge crowds excited to experience Disneyland's newest thrill. The sleek, futuristic vehicles and the promise of high-speed travel through Tomorrowland made Rocket Rods an immediate fan favorite, at least initially. Guests were eager to see how Disney had transformed the classic people mover track into a fast-paced adventure. However, reality didn't quite live up to expectations. While Rocket Rods promised the thrill of speed, many guests were surprised by the constant start and stop nature of the ride. Instead of a continuous rush, the experience felt choppy, with vehicles speeding up and then abruptly slowing down around each corner. This stop-and-go design wasn't what guests had anticipated, and some felt it dampened the excitement. Despite these mixed reactions, Rocket Rods remained popular due to the novelty of a high-speed ride in Tomorrowland. Yet, the attraction was plagued by frequent breakdowns, often shutting down for hours or even days. Disney had built up excitement for the ride, but the technical issues soon overshadowed its appeal. The long wait times combined with the likelihood of downtime led to growing disappointment as many guests left the line frustrated or even without a chance to ride. In the months following its opening, Rocket Rods went from a highly anticipated attraction to a source of frustration for both guests and Disneyland's maintenance teams, hinting at the struggles that would only worsen over time. As time went on, the technical issues with Rocket Rods only grew worse. The frequent acceleration and deceleration necessary because of the unbanked turns placed excessive strain on both the ride vehicles and the track. The linear induction motors, which were supposed to give Rocket Rods its burst of speed, weren't built for this constant stop-and-go movement. This led to frequent overheating, causing the ride to break down often and requiring almost constant repairs. Additionally, the ride vehicles themselves experienced rapid wear and tear. The tires, under stress from the rapid changes in speed, wore out quickly, leading to higher maintenance demands and lengthy downtimes. These technical failures forced Disney to make constant adjustments, sometimes closing the ride for weeks at a time to address mechanical issues. Guests who visited specifically for Rocket Rods often faced disappointment, finding the ride closed due to maintenance more often than not. The inconsistent operation and long repair times took a toll on the attraction's popularity. What was once the centerpiece of New Tomorrowland began to look like a problem child, an attraction that could rarely be counted on to work. Guests grew frustrated with the unreliable experience, and eventually the initial excitement around Rocket Rods faded. Maintenance costs continued to rise as the technical issues mounted. It became clear that Disney had a challenging decision to make regarding the future of the ride. Rocket Rods was becoming more trouble than it was worth. On September 25, 2000, just over 2 years after its debut, Rocket Rods closed temporarily for maintenance. Disneyland announced that the attraction needed extensive repairs and upgrades, leaving fans hopeful for its return. However, as time passed, it became clear that Rocket Rods would not be coming back. The ride had simply proven too costly to maintain, and the design flaws were too fundamental to overcome without a complete overhaul, which Disney ultimately decided against. Rocket Rods became an infamous chapter in Tomorrowland's history, remembered as an ambitious but ultimately flawed experiment. Today, remnants of the Rocket Rods track still snake through Tomorrowland, a constant reminder of the attraction's brief and turbulent life. For Disney fans, Rocket Rods is now a story of what could have been, symbolizing the balance between ambition and practicality in theme park innovation. Rocket Rods remains a memorable part of Disneyland's history, representing both the excitement of Tomorrowland's vision and the challenges of ambitious design. While it ultimately fell short of expectations, Rocket Rods is a testament to Disney's constant drive to innovate, even if every attempt doesn't fully succeed. For many fans, it's a fascinating what-if story and a reminder of the risks and rewards in theme park innovation. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Disney history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. We've got plenty more stories from Disney's past coming your way. We'll see you next time.